Today we are going to discuss Republic Act 11232, or the Revised Corporation Code, which took effect on the 23rd of February 2019, and one of the provisions of that law is the new type of corporation with a single stockholder called one-person corporation. What are the features of a one-person corporation? First feature is you have the full control and authority of a single proprietorship and a limited liability of a corporation. Now, what does this mean? It means that it's very ideal if for those people who want to have their own company without having business partners, and at the same time you do not incur the risk of having personal liabilities. Now, as a single stockholder, you are also the incorporator. You shall be the sole director and president of the company. And in this instance, you are required to designate a nominee, an alternate nominee, which name shall be indicated in the articles of incorporation. And these nominees will replace you in case you die or you become incapacitated to operate the company. One of the exciting features as well of this OPC is you are not required to have a minimum authorized capital stock except as specified by applicable laws, and no portion of that authorized capital stock is required to be paid at the time of incorporation. Now, as a single stockholder, you must appoint a corporate secretary, treasurer, and other officers, but as whatever designation that you want, within 15 days from the date of incorporation. You can, as a sole incorporator, be the treasurer of the company. However, you cannot assume the role of a corporate secretary. Now, if you want to assume the role of a treasurer in your own company, you must submit a surety bond to the Securities and Exchange Commission. So, a corporate secretary must be a Filipino citizen, while the treasurer must be a resident of the Philippines. So having discussed all these features, now who are those allowed by law to form a one-person corporation? First, natural persons of legal age. Now, this does not discriminate whether you are a Filipino citizen or a foreign national. Now, you can form a one-person corporation as a foreign national, subject to the limitations in areas of investment on the restrictions by the Constitution by applicable laws. Now, who else may form a one-person corporation? Trust. Trust does not refer to the trust entity, but to the subject being managed by the trustee. And also, the last one would be estate. So, natural persons, trust, an estate may form a one-person corporation. Now, who are those not allowed to form a one-person corporation? Natural persons licensed to exercise a profession. Like if the purpose of setting up the OPC is to exercise your profession, you're not allowed to do that. Banks, non-banks, financial institutions, and quasi-banks, pre-need trust and insurance companies, public and publicly listed companies, non-chartered government-owned and controlled corporations. So those are the entities not allowed to form an OPC. What are the documentary requirements to form this company? First, you need the articles of incorporation, the cover sheet, the written consent from the nominee and the alternate nominee, and if it is a trust or an estate, the proof of authority to act on their behalf. If you are a foreign national, the application form from the Foreign Investments Act, and the tax identification number if you are a Filipino single stockholder, and the passport number for foreign or single stockholder. Now, the registration of the company is currently done manually with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Hope this helps.